Saying the Unsaid, a conversation between a psychologist and a spiritual director who have been friends for over 30 years about process groups. The anticipated discomfort and the surprise intimacy, the inevitability of replication, and the possibilities of doing something new. We're guaranteed to get some stuff right and some stuff wrong, but we're doing it anyway. Thanks for listening.
Sarah, one thing I thought we could do today is on our website, we have 6 reasons why group. And I haven't looked at these since we made the website like 10 months ago or whatever. So I thought we could just read them and see if they still resonate, in what ways, or if we don't think they're the most compelling reasons anymore.
Yes, please.
Okay.
I like the idea, like in potentially romantic relationships, where there's like check-ins, like, are we doing what we want to do?
Yeah.
Are we aligned? Do we want to change the goals? Whatever.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the idea also of us periodically checking in with ourselves and the information we put out there. Is this still what we want to do? Is this still what we think groups are about? So I think it's valuable for us too.
Do we even agree with it?
Do we even agree with it? Do we need to add things? Do we need to take things away to clarify?
Yes. As you said that, I thought in our 30 years of being friends, we've never done that. We've never intentionally said, let's check in. Is our friendship what we want it to be? Even saying it to you right now, I feel kind of gross, like that's so cheesy to do with friends.
Vanessa, people do that with you constantly.
With me, but not me and you haven't done it.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, why have I not checked in with you if plenty of other people in the world have?
Yes, I do have those DTRs regularly.
Yeah, I would say that our friendship has had, you know how they say, there was the quote, I can't remember who said it, about I've been married for 50 years and to 5 different people or something. I don't know exactly the phrase, but it's all the same person for her.
Yeah.
But there's been so many iterations of their marriage.
I love that.
I love it too. And I feel like you guys have thought about it in that language. Like, we're different people now. Do we want to keep doing this?
Yeah.
And you and I have certainly had multiple iterations of our friendship.
Yeah. Okay. First, we said why group. Find out how people experience you and tell them how you feel about them. What draws you to them? What distances you? Do you think that's the first reason for group, or at least a good reason? Find out how people experience you.
I don't think it's in order of importance, the reasons, but I would definitely say that is a reason.
Yes.
This is the mirror element of group that is offered. I also think that in mirroring someone else, I get to know myself better.
Yeah.
So
You're right.
the act of being a mirror isn't even a selfless, as in the absence of self. I am expanding my sense of myself when I tell you how you are resonating or dissonant to me.
You're so right. It kind of sounds like an act of service. Let's say to pay attention to one person in group for a little while. It's like, oh, we're all doing this for you. And they're like, oh, I don't want to take up any more time. But it's not selfless. There's something in, like you said, the attention to the other person and being able to articulate it that further defines my outlines, my cheekbones, my preferences, my personality.
Yes. One of the things that we're kind of moving against in our group work is the idea of more of you, less of me, or something like that.
Yeah.
That we were somehow taught growing up. Like, in service to the other, you have to become less of yourself to whatever. And the idea that actually more is more. And this feels in that same line. Like, the more I define you, describe you, the more I'm also coming into being, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Even with you and me being in groups together, we have different experiences of a third party. So after group experience, you could say that person was really grating on me, and I like, oh, I love that person, or vice versa. And I like that between you and me because there's just like a different sound that is made with different combinations of people too,
Totally.
where something that could feel dissonant to you feels resonant to me. And that tells me something about myself, like what turns me on, what turns me off, and similar to you.
Yeah, I'm regularly surprised. I
Hmm.
tend to think you're going to agree with me about
Hmm.
everything. Like,
Yes.
wasn't this amazing? Aren't they the best? Wasn't
Hmm.
this horrible? And your list could be the opposite of mine. And I'm like, what? How
Yes.
is there still more to find out about you and about me and how our combinations incite different responses?
Hmm. I think because we have so much contact in this particular chapter of our friendship working together,
Mhm.
I'm increasingly delightfully aware of how different we are,
Yeah.
opposed to just increasingly aware that we're like thing one and thing two in Dr. Seuss.
Hmm.
We're actually not thing one and thing two. And it makes me love you more and love myself more to know the like more nuanced differences between us.
Yeah.
And I think that's possible in group too.
Yes.
So I think another myth that I believed growing up is that, and actually, I think I still unconsciously believe in some ways, is that sameness and agreement is the way that the world is a safe and connected place.
Yeah.
And so to disagree is a departure from, as opposed to a moving towards or an increased capacity. So I think that's something that groups can do too, offer people to be their full defined self in
Hmm.
relationship to other defined selves and not try to water themselves down in order to feel close. But I think that's a inclination.
Hmm. Do you have an example off the top of your head of finding out how someone experienced you in group or as a leader that was news to you?
Yes. Multiple times. I think that because we're kind of one trick ponies, two trick ponies, like I inhabit the world fairly similarly. So I'm going to get similar feedback.
Hmm.
Like if I keep showing up as myself. One surprising thing that I've gotten over the last year is that people can't read me. And
Yeah.
I did not know that about me. But after other people said it, you were like, Sarah, me too.
Hmm.
At times. Okay, so it's not 100% of the time I'm unreadable, but
No.
there's enough that it's been mentioned to me
Hmm.
in different formats of process group, some consultation group, participant to me as leader, co-participant, you know. So it's happened in various forms. It's not like when I'm in the position of teacher, I'm unreadable, but when I'm a participant, I'm very readable. No, across the board of locations, some people have said that I have a, I don't know if flat is the right word, but like a poisedness or like my facial expression is not very animated at certain times.
Yeah.
And sometimes a wondering of like what is going on with me. Am I displeased? Am I pleased? Or whatever. Am I
Yeah.
happy, sad, anxious, calm? That I appear very calm, but there's a distrust that that's what's matching me internally.
Mhm.
And that, just saying that out loud, reminds me of one of my core memories.
Mhm.
It, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago when I was with you and our husbands, and we were
Yeah.
sitting around having a conversation, and I was on fire. I was a rocket ship that was about to blast through the ceiling and leave complete destruction. I felt like there was smoke coming out of my ears. I mean, it was like out of body. I was so angry.
Mhm.
And afterwards, you asked me if I was bored by that conversation.
Mhm.
And that was such a devastating moment of realizing there's something about me that can have that level of disparity that my best friend on planet Earth thinks
Mhm.
I'm bored when I think that I am a fiery pit
Mhm.
of explosive rage. So that was so painful
Mhm.
to realize my own kind of dishonesty with myself in terms of how I present.
Hmm.
So that's also to say this has been a dynamic for a long time. It's not like this new me is like poised ballerina me.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not regularly reminded of that until I was in groups where there's an invitation to say what's going on with you. And people are like, Sarah, what is behind your face? And I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's such a good example. You might not have an answer for this, but it made me wonder if you're consciously trying to close the gap or if you're just kind of taking it in as feedback and noticing it and still being yourself. Or are you consciously trying to have congruence between outside and inside?
That's a good question. That's like part of the dynamic of group of if you get a reflection, are you therefore supposed to change? So let's say in one of our groups, someone got a lot of feedback that their face had a aggressive vibe to it and that people felt intimidated by this particular face. It felt like it was almost a scowl.
Hmm.
And it made people feel kind of prepared to be judged or nervous. So that was feedback that the person got.
Mhm.
So one option, I guess, is for that person to show up next week and to put on a really bright expression, which I think would be so weird and incongruent to them. So
Yeah.
it's like, no, the invitation is not to start doing like a clown face. It's just to know.
Hmm.
You can say, oh, I have this face that sometimes registers this way, just to let you know that under the face, I'm feeling connected to you. Or,
Yeah.
and then people can keep engaging around the face rather than changing the face necessarily. I think both have some value, but
Hmm.
for me, I think it was more like, thank you for telling me. It actually made me feel loved when people told me that. It made me feel like they're paying attention and they care that
Yeah.
there's a mismatch. And it just increased my personal awareness of, am I in a mismatched external internal place,
Hmm.
or am I more matched? It gave me language to it more so than an instruction to start smiling brightly when I'm happy or scowling when I'm mad or pouting when I'm pouting or I don't know, quivering when
Yeah.
I'm anxious.
Yeah, that's why we don't like miming. Like humans don't like improv or miming that's like super theatrical because that's what's happening. We're trying to express with our faces like some other reality, and humans just don't respond well to that. Right?
That is one of the many reasons why I don't like miming.
Um,
Yes, you have a more expressive face than I do.
mhm.
Um, and I don't know, we're just wired differently that way, and it impacts the other person differently.
Yeah.
Not necessarily better or worse, it's just different.
Yeah.
So I do feel loved when someone says, like, how is your face doing matching? You seem calm. Is that true? That makes me feel loved. It makes me feel like, oh, you know me and you know to inquire about this. And I'm inquiring about it myself too. And sometimes when I feel like it's a match, I can say, oh, I like this feeling. It feels really congruent. Or I
Hmm.
can say, wow, I really dipped into a more split self there. What happened? I wonder why I couldn't be integrated. But it just all brings it to the conversation.
Yes. It's like endlessly interesting.
Yes.
Now that you're talking, something I've learned about myself in group is that I assign anger to flat affect more than anything
Mm.
else. So if we're in our group, like our training group, and I'm talking and you're just like flat affect, sometimes I'll say, Sarah, do you not like what I'm saying? Or is this not accurate or something? I assume with flat affect that there's frustration. And then with group members too, people who are really stoic or still, I don't first think, are they scared? I think they're mad. So
Mhm.
that reveals my cards, my
Yes.
one trick pony, which is that if you're not smiling, if you're not warm, if you're not loose and expressive, you must be mad at me. Most of the time, they're not mad. It's actually something more like scared once I check in about it or something, or sometimes in group, when I ask you that, you're like, oh no, I love this. And I'm like, okay, news to me, you're not mad.
Mhm.
So I don't know how it works, but it's another feature of the mirroring
Yes.
is me learning the mirror on the wall, who's the maddest of them all.
Mhm.
That's what I'm looking around the world saying. And
Mhm.
I'm organizing my relating
Mhm.
based on that. Okay, I was trying to think of feedback I've gotten that's surprising to me
Mhm.
so much. But one that I'm currently chewing on is some people feel like I'm emotionally unsteady, unstable, fragile, or immature. Like something about me gives them the sense that I'm going to crumble, I'm going to cry, I'm going to be emotionally needy. And the feeling I get is that they're kind of like, ugh, that's like gooey and gross. And so I don't want to get close to you. And this is mostly as a leader.
Mhm.
I've gotten that feedback, not as a member. As a member, yeah, you've been in a group with me where like the most intimidating, loudest man said early on that he was afraid of me. I was like, come again. No one in any room in real life has ever felt afraid of me. And
Mhm.
yet, how I'm showing up in this space, I was intimidating.
Yes, you were. The group had a collective, you were the scary witch of the group. That
Yes.
people don't come near me because you're dangerous.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Amazing.
So this is a very relevant conversation. Actually, it's like on our list of things to discuss on
Yeah.
our personal
All right.
conversation list about what is there to learn for you about how people are describing you as those things.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just doing a phone consult with a potential participant yesterday, and I was talking about the idea of in group leaning towards avoiding the phrase, it's not you, it's me,
Yeah.
doing it's not me, it's you for the
Mm-hmm.
sake of the group hour, and leaning towards what the other person is pulling from you rather than, sorry, it has nothing to do with any of you guys. I'm just having a reaction, because that takes out the interpersonal play and possibility. So, in the effort to do it's not them, it's you, the way people are responding to you.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting because I feel like I know you, so I'm seeing how people are perceiving you, and I also have more information about you.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting for me to witness. The part that feels true, there's something around sensitivity that people
Yes.
perceive from you that actually, to the contrary, people don't perceive about me.
Yeah.
Well, I've been given feedback that I'm non-responsive. This is like the stoic thing that I was just describing, that someone could say anything to me and it wouldn't penetrate me. I've
Mm-hmm.
gotten that feedback, which is
Yeah.
like kind of scathing feedback in my opinion. And
Mm-hmm.
then your feedback is someone could do a little Nerf dart at you and you would crumble. So we have different ways that the world perceives us in that way. So on one hand, I know you. I think that you're a tree with very deep roots. You're not crumbling. I know
Mm-mm.
you. You're not crumbling. But if you were a little like sea anemone creature, like your little, what are they called? Tentacles
Mm-hmm.
are responsive to
Mm-hmm.
touch, where mine like might not be. Mine's like, is that a fake sea anemone? Because its little things aren't moving. And I was like, no, it's real. It's just frozen in time. Yours are like, it's like if something brushes by it, or you
Yeah.
move. You're very responsive,
Yeah.
emotionally in the moment person. I think that's one of your gifts to the world. But
Mm-hmm.
it also makes people like, oh, if I swim by you, are you gonna like curl up your little things, or are you gonna move them, or.
Yeah.
So I think there's something that's like, it is true. You're
Yeah.
responsive to your environment, you're responsive to the world. As an adult, you've come to understand yourself as possibly in the highly sensitive category. I don't know what it's called. Highly sensitive person. There's like
Yeah.
books about it. And when you read the books, you're like, oh my God, it's me. Thank you so much for seeing me. It's like the book was a mirror. So I think that the groups, they're not delusional to say, we think you might be highly sensitive. You're like, that book is on my shelf and I love it. I underlined it.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that's true. To me, I know that being sensitive doesn't indicate I can't play or I'm not resilient. That just both things are true.
Yeah.
But I think it's useful for people to be able to articulate their fear of injuring you because there's probably a lot of past scripts, a lot of past experiences with a sensitive other.
Yeah.
makes them freeze up. So if they can actually engage actively with you while saying, I'm afraid that your little tentacle is going to curl up, stay with them. Like that's the invitation.
I don't have a big sample size, but I remind people, I think of some people's moms who are very fragile. So this is a huge generalization, but I have a small sample size where it's like, that reminds me of my mom. Like a mom figure would just crumble if I said that. And I don't want to take that on. I don't want to tell her. I don't want to get close to her. I don't want to open up to her because now I'm going to take care of her.
Mhm.
So that's how some of them have perceived me. And all of that is just so interesting to hear. And I don't hear it in any of my other meetings
Yeah.
the rest of the day.
Yes. And that's an example where someone saying that to you is a gift to themselves and illuminates their own history of relating to what they perceive as sensitive others. Because them saying it to me could relate to their history of having a non-responsive stoic other that they don't know if they can impact. So you're welcome for our weird personalities. As for one reason to join groups, this mirror element is definitely one of them. And the more the person can articulate how they perceive the other, it illuminates their own history with that dynamic. And to be reflected is also a gift.
Thank you so much for listening. If there's something you'd like us to talk about or you're interested in trying one of our groups, please email us at sayingtheunsaidgroup@gmail.com.